Dude, it's been crazy.
Oh, man.
All right, 40 seconds.
40 seconds?
Ready? I'm saying we got 40 seconds.
So then,
No, when he get his mic on and everything, I'll come back. Y'all ready?
Pretty much.
huh? Ready? What's up, fight fans and shitheads? It's Andrew Link, Assassin Watson.
It's your boy Wilson. Bobby over there too.
Yeah, I'm over here. And we're joined in studio right now with Tony Lionheart Hervey, veteran MMA legend, has fought and been King of the Cage champion, fought in the likes of Takanori Gomi, currently coming up for, was it Fuel?
Fuel fight, yeah, I believe.
Super fight, David versus Goliath in every which way you can put it. Usually fight at 55, you're fighting a heavyweight, man.
Why?
Well,
Why not? Yeah, that's the question. Why not?
welcome on with us, man.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
So, you want to explain a little bit what's going on with you right now with your fight coming up here?
Well, let's just say, it's explosive. I mean, in all of the events that I've ever had, I've never really got to express like how talented or really what my challenges are or what I face. I just want to be able to fight somebody durable. I mean, I haven't had anybody fight me like face to face since Gomi. Everybody else is kind of like, let's get on the jiu-jitsu tip. All right, he moves too much. Let's hold him down. Then I'm like, you know what? Screw that. I got to get better than that. And after you're fighting in the Bellator fight and then seeing what I looked like, I would be damned if I ever go back looking like that again. All right. So for anybody that doesn't know me, I mean, when you sign up to fight me, you are coming for a fight. It's not going to be just a hold down, let's hang out match. But for this particular fight, this is going to be the catalyst, like the kick off the tip of the iceberg. And I'm going after every single camp.
Ooh.
Every single camp.
So after this fight coming up, man, as you said, you don't really get too many people. I know the one you were complaining about recently, Jason Fisher. You said, especially in the Bellator fight, nobody wants to fight face to face with you. They'd rather try to hold you down and grind out that victory. You got a heavyweight who, in Dingo, who I don't think I've ever really seen him on the ground too often, especially, and then now you got a kickboxing match, so you're not, there's no chance of going on the ground. He's going to have to stand up with you. And love Dingo, he's a monster, but, somebody like you, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, basically type deal. Who after, though, Dingo, you're saying you're going after all camps, who do you want first? Who's one person right now that no matter what, right off the tip of your tongue, you want next?
To be honest with you, it's not even anybody in particular. Thing is, I got to get past one milestone at a time. At the moment, it's entertainment. It's the business. It's the love of the sport. In short recent, a friend of mine passed away. Don O'Grady, and I know everybody else knows of him. And that's somebody that I kind of grew up with in the sport, and for us in this sport, we're veterans. We've been around so long that we're starting to see these new cats that are coming in, and they're just getting picked up like flies, And for us, we're the dying breed, So after you pass away, where do you go as a fighter? Where's our Hall of Fame or anything like that? If we don't aspire to make it to the UFC, what's next? And for me, getting started with this is the development of a new sport, of a new era, new genre. I'm giving other people opportunities to hang up their titles, to finish it at the end of the tunnel. There's a light. You're going to be an athlete that has made it because of your time served. it's not so much that I got one fight. No, it was the fact that you did something in this sport. You tried to like aspire to have a great name, and then it dies within your family because we're the only infamous people that they know. You know, I believe ourselves to be athletes. And so, like, I know I'm not necessarily fully addressing the fact that, yeah, I'm coming to whoop Dingo's ass, and that's just balls out, flat out the truth. All right? I'm going in there with every goddamn gun blazing, and you might see a new person develop out of this. So, but for everyone else, I mean, I'm building an army. You come with me, you are honestly going to be somebody at the end of the tunnel.
You bring up, you know, the good friend Don O'Grady. We had actually mentioned that earlier on in the show about, you know, you and Don being friends. We're trying to help assist that program, the event for that night, in any which way we can. And as you said, last of a dying breed, man. This guy was one of the guys. He didn't look like it, but he can go out there and kick anybody's ass on any day. He really did, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was a tricky one, man.
He looked like just any average Joe, but when he went out there and put on a show, he looked like he could have, you know, been with the best. And he doesn't get enough recognition from anybody. You know, of course people here in Michigan know him because he's one hell of a guy. You know, he's been around for, you know, quite some time helping anybody out, you know, in any which way he can. He's got a great reputation.
He had a great heart, man. You know, out of every camp that I've ever walked into, Don would honestly give me the respect of being the person and being a human, but then he wouldn't hold back on me. You know, he would be the type that, all right, I'm going to punch you. You're going to feel it. And you're going to keep on getting hit. Damn it, aren't you going to block? And I'm like, all right, enough's enough. You know, we had a huge blowout in the beginning of our friendship, you know, and it was all because of miscommunication, misinterpretation. And, you know, I thought Don just walked right into King of the Cage and he fought Dave Shepard, and you know, I was so heated about that, man. I was so upset because it's like, what happened to my rematch? What happened to any of that? He walks in and he beats him. And I was like, dude, I should have beat him. Don just kind of, we rivaled each other, kind of like the Goku and, you know, Vegeta thing. You know, I always called him Vegeta, though. But I had the bad attitude. He always had a good one, you know. But, other than that, man, I mean, the bond between the team and everything, you know, I just want to say real quick that, you know, we have a GoFund going for his family right now, and Billy Ward's actually the one that's in charge of it. So for anything, if you guys can donate towards his family to help out his daughter and the family, that would be great. I appreciate it. We would appreciate it, and I know he would.
Definitely. We're spreading the word, trying to get as many people as we can out to the show, you know. Trying to, you know, get a bigger crowd in there, because every you know, dollar counts. I know the profits, you know, all go to Evelyn, and the GoFundMe page will definitely throw up on our page and share it as much as we possibly can. Try to get, you know, more in there, because this you know, little girl's going to grow up without a father, and it's not, you know, I mean, it's not something that he planned, that he's not going to be able to there to secure her future. So, you know, if it was a, you know, a new loved one, and for Michigan MMA, we're a big community, we're like a family, everybody should love this man and love, you know, his family, and show some love and come out and support the event, and, you know, go check out the GoFundMe page. $5, $10, doesn't matter, everything counts.
Whatever.
You know, let's get back to the fight real quick.
Let's get back to it.
You know what? I'm just going to be upfront. I never really ever boast. I don't ever talk about, like, hey, you know, Tony Hervey could do this and that and the other thing. The thing is, it's all about... I do. I guess, you know, the thing is, it's like, it's a fight. People want to see entertainment. They don't want to see Tony Hervey fight Joe Schmo. They want to see, let's see if Tony can get his ass whooped. And how bad can he actually get his ass kicked. So, you know, when I got presented with the opportunity to fight Dingo, I didn't back out. I didn't say no. I didn't say, oh, well, wait a minute, I gotta put on a couple more pounds. You know, dude, I can't even eat enough to get over 170 pounds, all right? And so the thing is, he has enough power, he has enough body mass that should be able to take and withstand an ass whooping. And I don't care if I win. I don't care if I lose. Thing is, I just want to see how hard I can play in this game.
Okay, with you saying it being entertainment value, will you go for the fancy knockout versus just trying to go for the win?
Oh, I'm going to do everything in my power to be a damn video game character.
I'm going to go watch some of Tony's fights. even in the gym when sparring with, it's just the way that Tony moves and what he throws. It's like you said, he's out of a video game.
Okay.
I remember first time sparring with Tony. Tony was talking to me while he was beating my ass. Just looking at me, talking to me. It's throwing me off. His hands are down because he's trying to get me to engage with him.
To react.
And react and be able to think about things simultaneously. And it completely threw me off. When you got somebody punching you and kicking you and still talking to you, holding the conversation, it's something completely different.
Yeah, and I'm not taking anything away from Dingo because he's got power for days.
Yeah.
I've seen multiple knockouts he has, but when you're that big, you can't move all that that quick. Like he's quicker, for a big guy, but then there's fucking like Flash. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like Solomon Grundy.
This is like
running
fighting
after the
Doomsday.
Flash. Yeah.
You know, I always seen myself as being like one of like heaven's guardians, and for my particular sport, I feel like I am a guardian of it. And so that means that I have to uphold and upstage and keep myself 100%, I guess, a gentleman. And that's the best classification for it. So I'm not going to try to demoralize him. I'm not going to try to, say, Dingo, you're a piece of shit. No, he's not.
Right.
That guy is probably the best damn person on the face of the planet, and we probably never even got to hang out.
Right. Yeah. His memes may get a little out of control. You know what I mean? But I've not seen any like real, shit talk come out of your mouth, and that's what I love is that as much as he tries to throw it your way, you're like, you're not gonna like interrupt my, my game plan. Like, this may work with everybody else, but you're a true veteran of the sport, man. Years and years and years you've been around. So for some of these newer guys or these guys that come up against Dingo, and he does all these memes and he does all of his, his trolling like he does, it gets in their head, but I don't think he really realizes it yet that it does not play into your game plan because I think he's waiting for feedback. Every fight you see him in, he's always doing memes and people doing memes back or just shit talking, making videos and stuff and nothing.
That everybody needs a villain. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna have it, why would you face two good guys together? That's actually more like Batman and Superman, right?
Right.
In a sense. I mean, they kind of try to outdo each other. But let's just put it this way. This is a new sport. This is a new era, new time, and I'm going to be the catalyst to help show you guys the way.
But what I love is, as new as it is, the new generation, new era, as you're saying, it has a little bit of an old school feel for it because you haven't seen a fight where the weight division really didn't matter, man. Two guys are just going at it. So that's what I love about it. Is it kind of has the old feeling to it, but in a new generation of fighting.
I was brought up on old school Kumite. Kumite rules. If anybody doesn't know anything about it, watch Bloodsport. Time and time again, you're going to see something else you don't know. All right? Bloodsport's a beautiful movie. But when you look at it, pay attention. It's not so much about who they're fighting. It's all about proving that you can fight. Okay? Kumite, Kyokushin, black belt, 3rd degree, that's me. Lionheart Tony Hervey.
You against the world.
Now, I want to get on to the Fitness Academy.
Heck yeah.
For people who don't know, that was Tony's gym. What is the ideas behind Fitness Academy? Because I know it's not like your typical MMA gym. There's something else behind it. There's actual meaning behind it.
I'm the grandmaster of my art, and it's called Fedoshian Taijutsu. So a little bit behind what the Fitness Academy is about is having disciplined body skills. Having the skill to basically move your body and coordinate your body so that you don't slip, fall, so you can pretty much find your optimal nutrition. I mean, it kind of classifies your whole entire body type just for you. I craft workouts just for you. I can't go any further than that. I can teach you how to do certain elements of what you might see or depict, but I teach you how to be you. And in retrospect, it basically, it's more than just punching and kicking.
Exactly, because I know that I would love to come out there swinging like Anderson Silva, being able to throw the kicks away like that, but realistically, I might just get a body kicking.
Wouldn't you want to just have the confidence, though?
Yeah.
That's really what it is, because it's Fitness Academy is a set-up base for kids 4 to 12, which I teach heroes training, then I teach, cadet training, which is, teenagers from 13 to, 18, but in the earlier phases of it, these kids learn coordination. They learn body skills, confidence. I mean, they don't really learn about the anti-bully, but I'd much rather have my kids say, hey, don't hit me, and not be afraid to tell this guy. And then if they don't listen, then worst case scenario, my son has to defend himself.
Exactly.
See? So I'd rather him having the confidence to back that up, you know. When it comes out to the fitness academy, you're asking to say, hey, train me to be a fighter. Okay. What are you going to do as a fighter? You're going to punch a bag a couple times. You're going to dip and slip, and we're going to hit pads. But, I mean, that stuff gets redundant. All right? I mean, coming up in my martial arts, I mean, in Tung Sudo, you have tradition. You know, in Kyokushin, tradition. And it's like a lot of linear front and punch and kick and side kicks, and then defending. I mean, we're not going to really get into all that, but this true science of it is to be self-aware. You're supposed to be aware of your surroundings, aware how many people are in the room, aware of like how they're going to approach you, and then you have to pick out like the smallest one, the tallest one, the biggest one, the little one, the fast one, and you have to see all this in an instant. No different than how you drive. That's how you drive a vehicle, right? You wouldn't want to hit somebody and run over somebody by accident and be like, well, I seen you, but my bad.
Shit happens.
I love it.
But no, for people that don't know, where do you have your headquarters as of right now?
The headquarters is going to be opening up at Gibraltar Trade Center.
Okay.
I will be starting actually around the first weekend of February. I'll be putting on demonstrations out there. I'd love to have the show come out there, do some interviews or anything like that.
Definitely.
You guys do a little bit of promo and stuff. That'll be great. You guys get to see the demonstrations that I put on for the kids, the demonstrations that I put on for just the combat sports, the athletes. You know, this will be a beacon or a source for the people that want to get entry level to actually see what the sport's about without actually getting their face kicked in first. You know.
Yeah, I love it because all the guys, once they get like 18 or older, they automatically just have that like tough guy syndrome. So they go into the gym and they don't throw like 50% when you're sparring and shit.
Mm-hmm.
They think it's time to go about 95. And when you go up against the the more veteran guys, they try to take it easy, man. But you can only take it easy for so long before you gotta pop a motherfucker in the mouth and like, look, you want some more of that? No, then I told you 50%. Listen, Linda.
Yeah, I don't know. I think my rule of thumb was I hit you as hard as you hit me. So if you hit me that hard, your ass better be expecting it.
Yep.
Well, I remember. I don't know if you remember, man. I was babyface back then. I trained over at Harley's Nama when he was still Team Undisputed.
Yes.
And I remember sparring with you, and I was newer to the sport, man. I threw a couple like leg kicks. I went to throw a punch, and you kind of like slipped it and punched me hard right in the fucking face, and I was like, I remember Harley was like, oh, we're doing rounds and stuff, and he was like trying to make me go back towards you. I was like, he fucking hit me hard last time. No.
That's bad, man. There was a time, I mean, I'm not going to say the gentleman's name, but, I went over to a certain gym, and we were sparring, and we had our gear on and everything, and, I seriously, sometimes when I say I'm going light, people don't realize it, so they go harder. So I'm like, I'm actually staying poised, relaxed, and I did a switch kick, and his hand went straight down to the floor as if he was like trying to do like toe touches. And I switch kicked and released it, and then knocked him clean out, and he busted his head open. So if you're listening, I'm sorry. And Big Don, I know that we have our odds, but I didn't mean it.
Yeah, we that's because we used to have you in. Eric Moon would always come in, things like that. Mike Hernandez, and that was when it was fun. Was seeing, especially when you and Hernandez would go at it, man. I remember that was years ago. But that's one thing. We were actually talking with Harley. What was it? 2 weeks ago? A week ago, the WXC event. Southgate. He was there, and we were sitting there talking. And he was telling him, talking to Harley about setting up an interview, and he's like, "Oh, well, when do you guys got next?" And we were telling him that you were coming on next, most likely,
right on.
or that Bobby's going to work on getting you on. And he's like, "Oh man, how's you been?" And he was like, we're just talking about how
I missed that whole family, man.
Yeah, where you been and how the great sparring that he said he was just sitting there talking about how great the sparring was with you back in the day and shit like that, man.
Dude, those were like the days that I was like in infancy of teaching back then. Gosh, I can only imagine what I was telling you guys back then.
Well, speaking of teaching, That's all I'm hearing coming from you. And in the conversation earlier, you say you don't care, you win or lose, you want to entertain. So, are you a fighter that wants to teach, or do I see a teacher that likes to fight?
No, a teacher that likes to fight. Oh yeah, because it's like, you know, you can't necessarily say, all right, I'm a teacher and I demonstrate my art, but only to my students. So how are you going to beat up your students? That's not
Right.
fair, man. You know, and as a teacher, it doesn't mean I need to go out and boast and beat, like showboat or something. It's more so like, no, this is the efforts of what you train for, you know. And so like, if you go out there and you fight, I fought my sensei, and I fought my senpai, okay, or I'm sorry, my sifu, and Chris Malgeri. For someone that doesn't know, that beautiful. I fought him in my amateur career, and I remember seeing the tape, and I'm pretty sure Josh Lawrence has it. So if you ever want to see me get my butt completely kicked, this was the gentleman that did it. But when I work on my art, I feel like the true test is really in battle. You know, you need to understand that I can take a punch, I can move a punch, I can throw back, and you know, you have to understand how to build your own, engage your own, what you've done, what you attained, you know. And the only way I've ever found it was just get out and do your job. Go out there, bust your ass. Get up and go train, go run. Dude, I would run 20 miles just to see if I could do it. All right? I don't know many people that do it, but some of my students actually do. They know I'll do this. I go out of my way to try to see if I can exceed human, like, body, like, condition. You know? A lot of people hold back from that. You know, I grew up in this sport from the age of 17, went to the military, came out of the military, went back into this again, and I've been in it ever since, engulfed in it. My whole entire life is technically combat science, not necessarily, it's more like self-defense, but it's not like I go around maliciously kicking people's ass or something. You know, no, it's definitely not that. It's more so like I find beauty in the art, just like anybody would in dance or song, or even in what you guys do now. And I mean, in the radio station, I mean, it takes a lot of different logistics just to make one thing happen.
Well, see, that's the thing, is you're talking breaking the limits, man. There was a point in time where, especially leading up to one of my last fights, I was 220 cut all the way down to 155, and I know about breaking, you know, some limits, and that was tough mentally and physically. And now it's to the point. That's the point I break a sweat. And I'm like, fuck, no, dude, I need to sit down and talk on a mic. I'm way better at that.
I'm going to tell everybody how hard I had to sweat. All right.
Yeah. It's so much easier talking on a mic than having to work out. I'm kidding. I haven't worked out in quite some time or trained for fights or anything, but breaking the limits, man, it's a beautiful thing, especially when you feel it, you know, in yourself. Once you notice, like, hey, I'm really making a change. Like, I didn't think I could do that, and it's happening. Like, and for you to teach that to kids, not a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we're in such a sissified world, you know, as I like to put it, and you tried your hardest today. Good job. Here's a fucking huge trophy that's 8 feet tall for participation. It's so for you to sit there and actually demonstrate and show young, you know, kids and teenagers and things that, hey, it's fine, you know, doing what you can do. I'm going to teach you how to be you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm going to personally show you how to break limits. You know what I mean? That's what, you know,
those mental barriers.
That's what, you know,
yes.
This generation coming up today needs to see, because not a lot of people stand in front of them and break, you know, barriers or push themselves to the limits. As I said, if you break a sweat, it's like, damn, that was a good one today.
Right?
15 whole minutes. Yes.
And I want a taco.
Right. Now I'm going to go drink a 6-pack of beer and smoke a cigarette and eat, you know, a case of freaking White Castles.
You know, to be honest with you, it's not even so much that a person really needs to, like, change everything about their whole entire structure of being. You know, it's just like you just implement certain strategic moves. And the more often you do it, you condition the body. You know, your body is probably the most efficient machine on the face of the planet, because we are the only organism on the damn planet walking, talking, and living and breathing. All right? I don't see dogs really going to this level. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I see my dog drive my car last week, and I was like, shit.
So
It's
what
either
is your,
Skynet's taking over, or that dog knows how to
Skynet's.
drive.
so what is your daily routine versus a training routine?
Oh wow, that's a good question. Let me see. A daily routine would be something to the effect of I just woke up and I go straight to the gym at like 5 in the morning. I'll probably jump on the treadmill. See, people don't know this, but I am the treadmill killer. Okay, I've outran 2 treadmills in my lifetime, and I'm looking for third. All right. But I jump on the treadmill and I'll hit anywhere between 20 minutes to a half hour, then go straight from there. Then I'll go into dips, pull-ups. From there, I go into power cleans, and then I go into like benching. Then I go right back to dips, pull-ups, and then I go into curls. Just based on that, I'm in the gym probably about a good 45, 50 minutes, maybe even an hour at times. But that's just one routine.
Of many throughout the day.
Mm-hmm. So when I look at that, and I'll say what body muscle haven't I used yet, or don't I recognize that I'm using? I put myself in like some weird types of contraptions sometimes to try to create other different like variants, differences in how to hold and attain certain powers. Like, you see guys levitating and stuff like that, like pushing up and like, I don't know, like flexed arm hangs or something like that. I don't even know how to explain it, but they're like gymnasts. A gymnast workout, that's how I train.
Tony basically gets done with the workout and moves around. It's like, oh, that hurts. Wait, the right side of my butt cheek doesn't hurt yet. Let me figure out a way.
I'll stretch a lot.
let me figure out how to get this glute working here real quick.
Well, here's another thing that a lot of people don't know about Tony too is a lot of fighters they have awesome movement. Tony breakdances, and that's where a lot of this movement comes from.
I've seen capoeira when you're doing capoeira. I've seen that. I've seen you doing the breakdance. You doing the break dances with the kids and everything like that, man. That's impressive. Just the movements, man.
Coordination. I call it jazz hustle, man. Jazz hustle is like footwork. I mean, it's everybody looks at like hustle. They're like, oh, you got to do it this step and get into a line dance. I'm like, nah, man. When you're playing basketball, don't you hustle? That's all. I remember my coach telling me, hustle, move, hustle. He didn't have like. Go to the left. Go to the right. No,
everybody get in the line and run down the damn court.
Right? He's like, dude, I couldn't shoot. Let's talk about that for a second. Every other sport I've ever played, okay, basketball. I don't know how I made it. I was the fastest whenever I could. I was just trying to run down that court as fast as I could without hitting the wall. And then I'd steal the ball. But I guess like the icing on the cake is I couldn't shoot a basketball to save my life.
Were you one of the guys that you were so quick and so aggressive, like your layups would just like fucking bing back the other way?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there.
Oh, yeah.
People are like, no, don't lay up, Andrew, again. I'm like, fuck, I got it this time.
You know how many times I went to the free throw line and I seriously did not make a shot? I would look at the coach and be like, substitute.
We were trying out for the basketball team. They're like, free throw. And I did a jump shot. No, free throw. Did it again.
Oh, man.
And they're like, just get back in line. And I watched like, oh, that's what you meant. That's what you meant. Yeah,
dude, yeah.
I didn't make it past first cuts.
Right.
That's awesome.
Well, any other sport like that, though, besides basketball that you tried and, like, you're good at it, but you just can't capitalize on it?
The only reason why I played basketball was because I got to steal the ball and kept on running. So that's why I kept on making the team. But football, dude, that was my sport. It's just like, I would really honestly go out of my way not to get hit. So I would run everybody to one side and be like, hey, guess what? Boom! And I would just dart the other way and then like completely just bolt. Coach didn't necessarily like that. He's like, no, hit the hole. Stay in this spot. I'm like, but they're going to close the hole. I said, what do I do? Bounce off? He said, yeah. I said, all right. I go run to the hole, hit the hole, go right back out to the other way.
He's fucking doing it again. we just had this talk.
Exactly.
We just talked.
Oh, man. Dude, those were the times. But, I think, like, the real main sport was just wrestling. Wrestling was my sport. It took a little while for me to get my bearings, though. 8th grade, I think I lost 3 matches, and then moved into 9th grade. I lost maybe about 40. I got completely destroyed, and then I was just like, that will never happen again. And each time that's ever happened, I've always found a way to stop it. I will do my damnedest to try to be Houdini.
Okay, so saying that, have you ever had 2 losses in a row?
If you look at my MMA record, you're gonna see loss, win, 2, and then loss, win, loss.
What kind of took you so long to get back on track after those losses?
Wow. Let's just say, in the pinnacle of my beginning of King of the Cage, I had just myself and my wife, and then we end up having a son right in the midst of Takanori Gomi. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, okay, I never had a kid before, and she's about to pop. I'm in Japan, and I'm like, oh crap. But this was like the beginning of the career of saying up, down, up, down, up, down. You know, it's a learning curve. You can't necessarily do this sport, but how are you supposed to do this sport and work and then have a real life? And, you know, a lot of people are having this trouble. We're starting to get into an era of domesticated fighters. It's like trapping lions at the zoo and then just saying, here, throw some food at them. You know, and they fight for all these little shows. And then you get shuffled along the way. You know, and this is like my main reason for this campaign in the first place. You know, I talked to Dom before we even passed about all this, and I was trying to bring him into the situation. Now, with a lot of us, he had a baby, you know, and with him having a baby, how could he be, you know, that mainstream fighter again? You know, I knew that he was already towards that path once he had the baby, and I've already kind of exercised or got out of it. And I started coming into myself where I started to understand that, you know, it's more than punching and kicking, but if I train and apply myself, there's no way a person's going to be able to stop me from what I'm really capable of.
It's kind of like when you have a kid. You have that killer instinct before you have the kid. You still have it after, but you just feel
domesticated.
More just more okay with everything. Like, oh, he called me an asshole. You too, buddy. Yep. You too.
You catch a lot of guys at the gym now that spar and they hit you in the face. They say, "Sorry, my bad." Touch gloves. I'm like, dude, you say sorry again, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you again.
Remember that rule.
Yeah.
Oh, I have some big rules, don't we? I'm like, don't look at me to listen. That's number one.
The most I've ever done, I'm just like, I'll hit somebody and like, do you see the look in their face? And before I hit them again, I'm like, you okay? I'm not gonna say sorry because this is sparring. But I remember
when you tag that person, you darn right you're gonna ask them, hey, you good? Can I still keep going?
I don't want to fucking just punch you again. We're 2 weeks out from a fight, buddy. I mean.
No, but getting back to your question, I mean, you know, when we're into this phase of like, I need to be a dad, I need to be working at a legit job. I mean, we are probably the lowest but most glorified athletes, but don't get the credit.
You're too tired to be aggressive.
Damn right, right? You know, more coffee.
You get home from work and the kid's like, Daddy, come do this. Build me a fort. And I'm just like, I can't even get my shoes off yet. Like, I don't want to fight nobody.
You know, speaking of that, my son's a trooper, man. And I'll tell you that right now. This kid's going to be freaking phenomenal. And I know every dad's going to say the same thing about their kid, so I expect you to. Every dad should say that.
So, mine's should be a future basketball star or something.
Something. Darn right.
Doctor, something.
My daughter's going to be the pink Power Ranger one day. That's all
I could dig that. I could dig that. See, with my kids, man, I look at trying to be the best that I can possibly be and pass that same feeling to them. The best. And that means, you know, being a better dad, being a better father, being a better, mentor, being a better teacher, being a better husband, being better as a self, you know. And I try to moralize that within my kids, and especially leading by example, you know. I can't tell you how much that I love my family, and my family is bigger than what I actually give credit for, but my immediate family, I love them so much. I couldn't be here without them.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, this MMA family has developed and it has expanded, and it's continuing to keep on expanding exponentially, you know, but collectively we need to unify. We need to start doing what's right by the sport, by the athlete, you know, and even by promoter in some cases.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have enough of that.
No.
So much backstab shady shit going on. Oh, you know what I mean?
Well, it's becoming like boxing, where everybody wants to fight over a small piece of pie instead of everybody helping each other achieve bigger things.
Yeah.
Like guys throwing 7 shows on one weekend. Like you're spreading the talent out so thin.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way that TWC and TXC, the pro divisions here, are working together. They will not throw events within like 3 months of each other just so that they can work out shit where, hey, you can have this guy for this fight, I'll have him next time. And they're actually working together for signing people to 4-fight contract or something like that, multi-deal, to fight between the two. It's going to be good for your 4-fight contract is going to be for both TXC and TWC.
Right on.
You don't have enough of that. You really don't.
Thing is, it's like, where do you go? See, you know, slowly but surely with combat sports, everybody's going to know what the name means. And soon, people are going to start to ask questions what it means and what it's about. And within that time, come see me at Gibraltar. I'll sign you up and I'll show you.
With sanctionings about to be reinstated, how do you feel it's going to affect Michigan MMA?
Oh, dude, somebody's out for money. I'm just gonna say that, and I don't care. It's you know, that's your prerogative. You know what I mean? But sanctioning is what it is.
You think it's a money grab?
Dude, I mean, come on. Everybody needs money, but realistically, I don't want to get into too many of the political, you know, because like.
Do you think when you say it's a money grab or it's about the money, do you think it's the government wanting their cut of the pie?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is? Okay.
I mean, do you see that many, like, really officials walking out anybody in WWE?
No.
No, you don't. You don't see that. They just want their name in the lights, man.
But doesn't it clean up the shady promoters and gyms and promotions?
Behind the scenes, it should. It should never really take place in entertainment. That's all. You know, I mean, I think I'm trying to put it in a way that isn't necessarily gonna, you know, infringe or hurt or harm or upset somebody. But,
right.
You know, at the same time, I'm just gonna be up front. I mean, it is what it is. They want to be with the athlete and say, hey, I walked out with, you know, Anderson Silva. Dude, you know, meet him in the back, hang out with him, but get out of our face. We got things to do.
You have nothing to do with this fight.
Yeah. You know, you're not going to protect me while he's hitting me, you know, so...
You're not going to tell me how to defend myself.
Exactly.
You're not my corner. That's the thing, though, is that I think it started getting bigger in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
MMA, especially in XCC days, was kind of, you know, it was a freak show, basically, for a couple of years, man, and it's really become it's really becoming legitimate now, man, and and that's when they really want to catch on with things. Once it's starting to get legitimate, once they see they can capitalize off it, make some money, that it makes more sense.
To be honest with you,
I'm actually for the regulations just because I know that a lot of these shady ass fighters, not the promotions themselves, but the shady ass fighters that make promotions shady as fuck, are gonna be gone because they're $150.
Nobody wants
I'm
to
not
pledge
paying for it.
loyalty. That's the thing. See, the thing is, nobody wants to pledge loyalty unless it's for a purpose.
Yeah.
You know, so if you want to fight and continue to fight and your aspirations is to go UFC, Bellator, and all those mainstreams that way, that's great. Go ahead. I'm telling you that I have a new combat sport. I have integrated combat sports. We're looking to take teams, okay? We're looking to take names and, like, some of the other, like, fighters that are around that just want to get entry level. We're giving you an opportunity to step aside from that and actually become the athlete. Have a professional credibility behind it. You know, if you want to fight and you have no purpose and you realize that you only get a belt or a title, oh, I fought at TWXC or TWC, I'm sorry, excuse me for being wrong, but I fought for them, but your only objective is a title, keep going that way if that's what you choose. With what we offer, we're giving you an opportunity to go places, okay? I mean, the bigger picture is really up to you. If you want to come and find out, you'll come and see me at Gibraltar.
So you feel that your path is the way for quicker success and quicker recognition?
Quicker success, quicker recognition, yeah. And I mean, no offense, I mean, you could go out and throw the fight and then you're a legend for a day. But how about having an eternity? How about having a whole, like, lineage of a Bruce Lee? You know, and then you can go out with a legacy, and at the end of the tunnel, everybody will know your name. You will be a household name. You can't do that when you're over here like fighting and being somebody's girlfriend. And I fought for a title. They don't even know if they're going to even use you next month or in 2 months.
You see a lot of that nowadays, where somebody wins a title in the next show, nobody ever lost that title, but there's 2 new guys fighting for that same title that somebody just won.
Yeah,
It happens a lot. Chasing belts is a horrible thing. You gotta defend that shit. You want to be considered even a real champion, defend the shit. Don't go chasing title after title.
But
By
it's
the time
not
you
even
come back,
that, though.
you lost.
Sometimes the promotion doesn't even allow you to like kind of get into that situation.
It doesn't. I don't get it.
I mean, Takanori Gomi, no offense. As soon as we fought, dude went straight to the UFC. That was our determining fight. I was like, where was I? And then kicked to the curb. So then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make it back. All right, I'm gonna go. I got another title, Freedom Fight, Canadian Freedom Fight title. Won that one, beat Brad Cardinal for it in Canada. Okay, I went there by myself, by the way. You know, just never having a corner, doing my own thing, but never got to fight Gomi again. I wondered why. And then Miles whooped his ass. I was like, whoa, okay. I wasn't expecting that. But then, you know, it is what it is.
I want to talk about the Takanori Gomi. I don't know if Bobby's told you yet in the past with meeting up. Before Bobby had really like met you and knew you and shit like that, I was already involved in, you know, the Michigan MMA scene. I fought for XCC and shit like that. I met you at the Coliseum when
oh my gosh.
James Lee fights and shit like that. And I was so confident in you. I didn't really realize what we were talking about. I could have swore that, you know, I remember it being a great fight between you and Takanori Gomi, and I thought you had took the decision. Bobby's like, no, I'm not sure. I think Takanori Gomi took the decision. I'm like, no, dude.
Oh, jeez.
Tony took the fucking decision. He's like, what are you willing to bet? I was like, and it was when MySpace, wasn't it? MySpace still?
Yes.
It was MySpace, and
MySpace.
I ended up wearing panties and bra, and he took a picture
Wow.
and uploaded it because I was wrong.
Oh, I can't find that picture.
Because I was wrong, man. I was like, Tony won that fight. He was like, I don't know if he did. I was like, I swear, I will wear panties bra if I am wrong.
OMG, man. That's all I gotta say about
And
that.
yeah, that happened, man. But that was years ago.
Dude, that Takanori Gomi fight, I'm not upset. I'm not bitter. I'm so thankful that man whooped my ass. All right, because that guy put an impression on me that everybody else wishes that they had. They should have had that opportunity. I had the opportunity. I should have capitalized back then. But you win some, you lose some.
Well, that's the thing, man, is in your wins, you got really impressive wins. Submissions, knockouts, not too many decisions, but...
No, I got more decisions than I got, like... Well, knockouts, I would say more than decisions. But.
Right, but then it comes down to your losses, and it's like 95% decisions. You know, you proved to be a tough guy to fight, man.
That's why they won't fight me.
Now, any advice for these up-and-coming amateurs, even up-and-coming pros, the guys still making a name for themselves? You got any advice for these guys?
You know, real quick, you guys out here that are training, and let's just say your words mean nothing to me or to the fight. You have to prove by action, and that means, so if you're gonna train, that means train. If you're gonna not train, then don't train. But if you're gonna do it only part-time, you will not make it in this sport. You can't be part-time in this sport, or even let alone self-defense. You have to always be ready. So wouldn't it be easier to be ready than getting ready?
Yeah. I like that analogy. I like that. You got them guys that train to just fight. They don't care who they're stepping in front of. They're ready to fight. Yeah. And then you guys got the guys that always probably if they had a fight today, I'm probably not gonna win that fight. I'm getting ready for a fight. I got 8 weeks. You know what I mean? I'll probably be ready then. I might. You know what I mean?
Like he puts it on the time clock. I'm gonna go there next week. Boom. Click click. Man, I don't do that. So when I wake up, I'm like, okay, I'm a beast.
If somebody needs to get punched in the face, say I'm fucking doing it.
Damn right. Damn right. But then, I give you 3 warnings before anything like that. So if you push past those 3 warnings, and that's your fault.
All right, man. It's that time of the day. I thank you for coming on. It was actually an awesome conversation, man. Any shout outs or anything you want to say before we get off there?
I want to say rest in peace, Dom. I love you. I miss you, man. and I'm doing this for you, for the rest of the crew.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to see you on January 30th. We're gonna be there next week at the Dom Love to Hate event. Don't know if you're gonna be around. Are you gonna?
Actually, I'm supposed to be refereeing that fight.
Okay.
Or that particular event.
Right.
And then that following week, I'm refereeing, or not refereeing, I'm sorry, I'm fighting.
Right.
Competing January 30th at Birch Run. Birch Run Expo Center, January 30th. That's a Saturday. Fight start about 8 o'clock. Shout outs to Camorran Law. I'm sorry. Caveman Radio, excuse me. You guys, I'm like very, very, very bad about this. My words are horrible sometimes.
No, we're nowhere. Not too many people know us, anyways. It's all good.
You guys don't know, but it's all good. Do this.
No, but yeah, Bobby's gonna be out there at that event. Birch Run to
Heck yes.
cover it. It's too far for me. The wife doesn't let me travel too often.
I feel you. I have one of those.
But you know, we look forward to seeing you compete, and not just on the 30th, but anytime in the future, man. Look forward to talking to you next week while you ref with events. Anything other after the 30th that you have in mind that you want to try to get out?
The only thing right now is just come talk to me, get the information off of Facebook, Lionheart MMA Detroit. You can check out all the information that we have coming up that's developing on the future projects that we have coming up. We're doing a web series, but that's on the wraps right now. Aside from that, we're getting started with the demonstrations over at Gibraltar Trade Center in Mount Clemens. So definitely come out and see us on Saturday and Sundays.
All right, man. We appreciate you coming on. As I said, look forward to seeing you compete against you. Fuck no, I get my ass whooped.
You could, and it's all good. We'll have a conversation.
But look forward to seeing you compete in the 30th, man, and talking to you. As I said, talking in the future, getting more. We'll cover you more. We come out to Gibraltar, get some great coverage, get some interviews with you and other people that are out there. Other than that, gotta wrap it up this week, man.
All right.
You
Join the Army, Lionheart
Cool.
MMA Detroit.
The Wilson clan, you want to say
For
anything?
sure, the Wilson clan, our guest Tony, and all our fans out there. Love y'all.
Bobby?
Just thank you, Tony, for coming out, man.
Thanks for
and,
having me, buddy.
Thanks, Cave Radio, for giving us a place to express our desires and our love and passion for the sport.
I love the sport.
Appreciate you being on with us, man. True MMA legend. It's
Gosh, you guys are flattering.
well, I mean, if you're from Michigan and you don't know who Tony Lionheart Hervey is, fucking go to Indiana or something. Like, get the fuck out of the state by now.
Thanks for having me.
But that does it for this week. As he said, man, come and check him out at the Gibraltar Trade Center with what's the team called? Your expo, your little
Fitness Academy.
Fitness Academy.
That's the one on 75, the Gibraltar Trade Center.
No, that one's closed now.
Oh,
We're talking about right off of 94
Yep.
in North
Okay.
River Road.
Okay.
Mount Clemens.
Yeah, I literally
Town
work
center.
right on the other side of the 94 exit, so I'll be up there.
Right on.
But that does it for this week, Fly Fans and Shitheads.
All right, people.
Dude, thanks for having me. I gotta get my ass to get work, but it's a pleasure.
Always.
Thank you. Ah. Hey,